Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sah Vidyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Guru Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Saraswati Namo Nityam Bhadrakalyai Namo Namaha. Veda Vedanga Vedanta Vidya Sthane Vacha Saraswati Mahabhage Vidye Kamalalochane Vidyarupe Vishalakshi Vidyam Dehi Namostute Yadaksharam Padam Prashtam Matrahinam Cha Yat Bhavet Tatsarvam Kshamyatam Devi Prasida Parameshwari. Om Shri Saraswati Namaha. Akhandamandalaparam Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Shri Gurave Ajnanatimirandasya Jnanamyajamakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Shri Gurave Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwara Gurureva Param Brahma Shri Gurave Shri Namaha. Hari Om. I think we were talking about this sattvic person who's eagerly waiting, patiently waiting at the gate of the temple in order to offer various things to God, according to their mind. 34th verse, we have read the Marathi verses, which we have to, I think, complete a few verses, isn't it? So we will see up to the 40th verse in English, and then start from the 41st verse, reading the Marathi verses. So just a couple of verses, just to recap also. When a person leaves any important work behind and rushes to the temple of God with great ecstasy of devotion, it is sattvic. As we were just talking, we must keep in mind the times that Swami Samarth Ramdas was in 500 years ago, when he keeps repeating this God rushing to the temple. That was one way of, because that was their idea of the ultimate life principle. God, this idol, and the idol which was in the temple. So today's world, we look at it very differently. A person can be spiritual, full of Sattva guna. Without the Sattva guna, he will not go looking for the truth of his nature. He will not be asking for self knowledge and all of that. So he may not be typically religious, so to speak, today, as we call it. When we say somebody is very religious, we immediately think of them as going to the temple and with and taking care of all the rituals, the ritual aspect. But being very religious, being very spiritual, is having this mature mind, sattva quality, which is very receptive, very meditative, which is silent, which is receptive. So he understands a lot more. He doesn't have any questions. He is not saying, why is this happening in this world? Because there is a lot of mananam that has already happened. He has heard, he has contemplated, reflected on the nature of human beings, and so he thinks very deeply. And also, he is enthusiastically seeking this truth. So we must be able to understand the time and period that Swami Samartha belonged to. One need not think that, oh my God, do I have to keep going to the temple now? Because uh, it is one way, because in the temple, if you seek not the really popular temples, I don't, maybe a yatra once in a while is okay because it's so crowded. Where is the question of being reflective or meditative in such a place? Typically, in those days, the temple was a place where you could go and sit by yourself and meditate, reflect, as we say, you don't go and ask God something, but you wait and listen to what God has to tell you. That place offered that kind of space, the energy that was created because of all the mantras and all the pujas that were happening. So if you do find such a place, then wherever that is, one must be able to see that becomes your temple. It could be your workplace. It could be a place, a corner in your house where you sit regularly to meditate. So, and you're not disturbed by anything in the other. That is sattva quality. So here he says he leaves behind the 34th, when a person leaves any important work behind, rushes to the temple of God with great ecstasy. So he has understood the sattva quality has um, prompted him. He knows what we call important work of the world is not important enough. Now his mind is asking for more because he sees all of what is there today is going to go away tomorrow. He sees the futility of it. So he is not busy with the world. This is what we have to understand. So he leaves any important work. Usually, as I always say this, a spiritual class or religious class or a Gita class, for example, is the first casualty when anything happens, something important, we say, something important came up, so I couldn't attend class. The guests were there, whatever the reasons. When it is that sattvic quality has come about, you don't miss the class for anything. Because it's sattva in you pushes. No, it's okay. This can wait. Ways of the world can wait. And you are troubled when you don't get to attend class and you have to attend to something. That is sattva quality. When a person sets aside his high social status, accepts any lowly job at the temple, and very patiently stands at the temple gate, it is sattvic quality. Rajasic quality will be, yes, I will go there and quickly get because I'm an important person, I will get the VIP pass, get in and say I had very good darshan and come out. That is one thing. But this sattvic person, people go to these pilgrimages and they have very short period. So they say, going this day, having darshan that day, the next day I'm back. I have done my duty. That's not the way a sattva person feels. He wants to go and he doesn't go with a return ticket. He is like, let me spend time there. When we go to the temple, when we go to a place, we must allow ourselves to settle in that place, absorb the energies of that place. Then it is worthwhile doing that tirth, not otherwise. No, in a rush you go and you come back. So such a man does not speak harsh words, is very punctual in his habits, and pleases yogis. Such a person dropping all his pride selflessly sings in praise of God and becomes overwhelmed with ecstasy in his devotion. Dropping all his pride. Sometimes, um, people feel conscious. They are, they don't like to speak of spiritual thing or religious things because they feel, what will the other people say? These days you have to be, um, it has become gurus and spirituality have become like a topic, as in Tulsidas ji's Manas also. He said, Kali Yuga, this very Lakshana, is that in cocktail parties, you will have people speak about gurus and their capabilities, and there will be a lot of judgmental comments passed. Which guru is better than whom and why? And exactly that's what is happening today. If you see, too many gurus in the scene, and everyone is like, rating them and viewing them, and so it's gone beyond what the whole purpose was. But such a person, sattvic person, he recognizes the sanctity, he reveres this, and if at all he finds an audience, he is ready to talk about it. He doesn't feel shy or conscious of the fact. When he meditates on God, hmm, his eyes remain fixed and his body awareness is forgotten. When he meditates on God, there is no question of feeling I'm this body. That uh, feeling, that awareness is to come in meditation. Such a man has deep love for the story of God. There is never any deviation in his love, which is very great in the beginning as well as at the end of the story. Now that's important. Many of us start with a lot of excitement going to any particular, even our own basic sadhana that how many of us can keep up a sadhana? A commitment towards, because one thing is they don't see immediate results, and they have to show something to the world that that they're doing something. So it is that sadhana they speak of. I meditate. They have to tell the whole world that they are getting ready for meditation. A truly sattvic person would have started it, recognizing its significance, and without bothering to compete with anyone, is already in that state. And with lot of reverence, lot of love, he begins his sadhana. He continues that sadhana, and that love lasts till the end. Very many of us start with a lot of excitement. I will do this japa, I will do this meditation, I will do this chanting every day. And 2, 3 days go, and the mind is restless and wants to go here and there, and then the chanting is forgotten. Regular chanting must be done, Agnihotra must be done, or any particular practice japa. Doing that, in fact, you must see to it that that is done, and then everything else will fall in place. Can never be the other way around. Hmm. So we shall see now from the 41st verse. Read to 50, then go on to the English verses. मुखी नाम हाती ठाई टाळी नाचत बोले विद्रावळी घेऊन लावी पाय धुळी तो सत्वगुण देहाभिमान गळे विषयी वैराग्य प्रबळे मिथ्या माया ऐसे कळे तो सत्व काही करावा उपाय संसारी गुंतो न काय उखलवी ऐसे हृदय तो सत्व संसारासी त्रासे मन काही करावे भजन ऐसे मनी उठे ज्ञान तो सत्वगुण असता मापुले आश्रमी अत्याधरे नित्य नेमी सदा प्रीती लागे रामी तो सत्वगुण सकळांचा आला वीट परमार्थी जो निकट आघाती उपजे धारिष्ट तो सत्वगुण सर्व काळ उदासीन नाना भोगी विटे मन आठवे भगवत भजन तो सत्वगुण पदार्थे न बैसे चित्त मनी आठवे भगवंत ऐसा दृढ भावार्थ तो सत्वगुण लोक बोलती विकारी तरी अधिक प्रेमाधरी निश्चय बाणे अंतरी तो सत्वगुण अंतरी स्फुरती स्फुरे सस्वरूपी तर्क भरे, नष्ट संदेह निवारे, तो सत्व. We shall just read from 41st. He utters the name of God and claps his hand, he dances and describes the great deeds of God. He picks up the particles of dust at the feet of saints and respectfully touches it to his foot. See, Lakshana is it just that is how that comes naturally to him. He's so inclined. And such a person, he need not be very educated also. He need not be very intellectual. Huh? I have seen bhaktas like this. If you go and meet them, especially when I was in Coimbatore, um, such a reverence for a saint, such a reverence for God. And they say, yes, tell us more stories. Let us listen to more stories of God. They never get tired of them. And if you tell them that this is it, this is what God has said, absolutely, I accept. They do not put their mind to it. Meaning, how can he say that? Why should he say that? Oh, has he said like that? Oh, when will I know how to do this? How easily they accept. That is the beauty. And that is Sattva Guna, understand. Simplicity is there. And so much love you can see for God in their heart. When Sattva prevails, man has no pride of his body. He has no desires of objects of the world. I mean, sensual pleasures. What is sensual pleasures? Whatever attracts the senses. Something smells good and your mind has gone out to that. Something you hear and what is happening, the mind is engrossed in that sound. Something we see. So these are things that take the mind outward. You may lose yourself for some time in that, but the goodness will be if you can get lost and go into a trance instead of engaging in that sensual play. Huh? That is fantastic. That is what in the Drishya Viveka, there is this um, Savikalpa Samadhi, there is this with your eyes open, with your ears open. And if you are seeing something good, if you see in the form of Lord, and that form takes you to that ecstasy of that divine bliss, just watching, then there is something. It's Sattva. But if that form is there and you are discussing about the way form could have been better, and this is so beautiful as compared to what, and you are engaging with the mind, and you wish you had that form and you are now doing something to get that form, possess that form, own that form. So you have started into the mental gymnastics there. Hmm? So this way, he, Sattva prevails. He has no desires for objects of sensuality. He realizes that all appearances are forms and illusion. This is, to recognize this is not easy. We have heard it. And if somebody tells us, we say, yeah, I know that, I've heard that. But what happens? My Satya Buddhi is in that only. Satya Buddhi is, I think this is real. Therefore, I can't detach from it. Because I have not contemplated enough, I have not reflected enough. Either because the mind does not allow that, because it is still filled with lot of vasanas, desires, ambitions. There is passion. There is passion to get appreciation from the world. No? So once that is not there, then one can see this very easily. By sattva, man thinks, what is the good of being caught in daily life? Hmm. I should do something to free myself. This is also mithya maya aise kare to sattva guna. Kahi karave upaya samsari gunto na kare. Ukhalavi aise hridaya to sattva guna. This feeling itself should come. It should come naturally. Then sattva is prevailing. And the need to free oneself from all this entanglements. You should recognize your entanglement. People take part in it and involve in it, they love it. Okay, they are ready to give up only when, or if they have outgrown that part, like Bhagavan Shankara says here. Balasthavat, what happens? Krida. Krida is games and toys, and you want all this. So a child who has just outgrown toys, his Vishaya becomes something else now. Tarunastavas, Taruni is. So now, but he is still attached to something else of the world. That is not sannyasa, that is not leaving. This boy might say, I'm no longer interested in these games. So he hasn't become a sannyasi. You should ask him, so what are you interested in now? And he will tell you about his passions. It will be about the world. This attitude, which Shankara had as an 8-year-old boy, he realized there is nothing to this world. That is that Shankara. By sattva, the mind of man becomes bored with mundane life, and there is an awakening in his mind to be a devotee. He considers himself, I am a devotee, I am a satya upasak, I am after the truth, I am not interested in these mundane matters. And worldly matters seem mundane to him, ordinary. Whatever you tell that person, like, um, our Sridevi Shankaracharya was once talking about this person who is seeker or who is even realized. He says, tell that person, God, Swami, did you hear? Today the sun rose in the west, something adbhut has happened. It has never happened in the world before. Even that will not affect him. He will not be interested. So, that is this level of disinterestedness in the world. So they are not okay, I've seen this has happened, this is always happening. This kind of a thing, who has understood this? It is not forced on him, but he recognizes this. When a person, he became, when a man is a householder or whatever maybe is falling in social structure, he is respectful, regular, and devoted to God now. That is the sign of Sattva. He is respectful, regular, and devoted to the Lord. He says God Rama, his devotee, his Ishta is Sri Rama, his Parabrahman is represented as Sri Rama. When a man is fed up with all worldly people, samsari, and is very keen in the path of spirituality, he is very brave and courageous. When calamity strikes, that is the sign of Sattva. Agati upaje dharishta tosat. He is brave. Where does he get the strength from? How come he is so, this abhaya vritti, he says, he is fearless. For he knows, he now recognizes the existence principle, the divine principle which is holding him. And he knows it is not about people in the world that is holding him. So he seems a little self-sufficient in his knowledge and doesn't fear anything of the world. But a worldly person is always very fearful about many things. He is disinterested in all mundane affairs, tired of sense enjoyment, tired of sense enjoyment. And his mind remembers only devotion to God. That is the sign of Sattva. His mind is not attached to anything. His mind is very deeply devoted to God. That is the sign of Sattva. Now you will say, how can I become attached to God? How can I not be attached? I have always loved. Okay, you have understood. And now the Shastras say, now that Swami Samartha says, this is the way you should be, you should remember and detach yourself. That effort one has to put in and then come out of it. That is the effort, that is the sadhana. To keep saying, I can't, I am not, when I will become capable, ordinary people are not like that, normal people are not like that, doesn't help anyway. That line of thinking itself is wrong. People say that he is eccentric, but his love for God goes on increasing. That is the person of Sattva. When sattva prevails, there is inspiration and mind grasp the inner reality, and all doubts are simply wiped out. In fact, it is always said for an evolved person If people call him mad, he takes it as a compliment from worldly people. He says it is good that they don't understand me because I wonder how we are not on the same plane anyway. So he doesn't mind being called pagal. When sattva prevails, there is inspiration and mind grasps the inner reality. All doubts are simply wiped out. Okay, this is the fifth year. That is Nashta Sande Nivare To Sattva Guna. Arjuna also tells Bhagavan Krishna in the 18th chapter. And he says what? Now all the Sandeha has gone. Nashta Moham Gata Sandeha. And then he says, now that Moha has gone, I was deluded. Now I have some clarity. In this and with this clarity, I surrendered. Karishyam, Karishye Tava Vachan. That is, whatever you say, I will do. Huh? He does surrender earlier also. When in confusion one surrenders, that is one kind of surrender. Then with clarity one surrenders. Huh? That is also good. So at the end, Arjuna says, now Nashtamo Gata Sandhya. So Nashta Sandeha Nivare To Sattva. We shall read from the 51st verse to the 60th. शरीर लावावे कारणी साक्षेप उठे अंतःकरणी तत्व गुणाची करणी ऐसी असे शांती क्षमा आणि दया निश्चय उपजे जया सत्वगुण जाणावा तया अंतरी आला आले अतीत भ्यागत जाऊ नेली जो भूख्यस्त येता अनुशक्ती दान देन तो सत्व तडी तापडी दैन्यवाणे आले आश्रमाचे निगुणे तया लागी स्थळ देणे तो सत्व आश्रमी अन्नची आपदा परी विमुख नवे कदा शक्तीनुसार दे सर्वदा तो सत्वगुण जेणे जिंकली रसना तृप्त जयाची वासना जयास नाही कामना तो सत्वगुण होणार तैसे होत जात प्रपंची झाला आघात डळमळीना ज्याचे चित्त तो सत्वगुण एका भगवंता कारणे सर्व सुख सोडिले जेणे केले देहाची साखळे तो सत्व विषयी भावे वासना परी तो कदा डळमळीना ज्याचे धारिष्ट चळेना तो सत्वगुण देह आपदेने पीडला क्षुदे तृष्णे वास वोसावला तरी निश्चयो राहिला तो सत्वगुण. Says when sattva prevails, there is inspiration and the mind grasps inner reality. By sattvic guna 51, a man thinks he should make good of his life by employing his body for good works and his mind becomes awake. Such a person recognizes that this body is such a precious thing and he wants to make good use of it, acting in the best possible way as with a sense of contribution. This body is for contributing, this mind is for contributing to the world. There is nothing that I need to accumulate and take with me. If at all I need to accumulate, it has to be right vasanas so that I am liberated from this janma marana cycle. Because when you leave this body, you go only with your vasanas. There is nothing else that you take with you. Your karmas are going with you. The karma phala you will be, reaping once you leave this body. When a man is peaceful, has pity and forgiveness as well as determination, one should recognize that as the quality of sattva. He has daya, shanti, kshama. A sattvic man does not allow guests to go without food and gives them something according to his capacity. And this is important. Yetanushakti dana dena. Zao nedi jo bhuke ista. People who have come home. I know and I have heard also There are people, if you go to visit them in their homes, mm, if it is that you have told them and you come at the time when there is lunch or tea served, then only they serve you that. Otherwise, they do not. And especially Aditi Devo Bhava was a very, very, it was like a sadhana practiced previously because there were not these hotels and everything, available. Today, the world has also changed a lot. So when you visit somebody, you have to take an appointment. Otherwise, you are not really welcome. People are so busy and they have many things to do. The heart is closed, if you see. I know, and I think more so in the US and in the cities, they are following the same example because whatever US does is what we have to do here. Um, I've heard of this that when people go and visiting, especially, life is difficult. I agree. In US, everything is done by yourself. So when people visit, they usually like to take an appointment and go. You can't just land into somebody's homes. That is missing even in the cities today, Mumbai and all that. Because people are so busy, they do not have time for another. They do not have time. And the way they treat even humans, even the delivery boys who come, they don't even offer a glass of water sometimes until that fellow asks specifically. And when asked, I see that they shut the door, go inside, get, because whatever security, I'm not talking about that. But that very warmth of one human meeting another human is not there. That was seen in the social this. People tell you in the US, do not come at such a time. We cannot host you. We cannot take care of you. I know of one person who was staying also in a place, and after a day or so, he was told that food is expensive, so he must probably share, whatever he eats at home. So, to that extent, they can become. So here, um, we must be able to offer food, drink, even if it is untimely for us. If we can do that, who benefits? Don't think that you are greatly contributing to the other person for his benefit. Do that once and you will see in what way you can benefit. We must go that extra mile, take that one harder step to make somebody else comfortable. Then it is the effect of sattva that whenever any poor and destitute person comes with hope at the door of his house, he gives them shelter. A sattvic man never allows a guest to go without giving him something, even though there may be shortage of food in the house. One who has control. आजकल तो भाई आते ही they will say आप खाना खा के आ गए ना मतलब you have had lunch ना giving you a hint that you might as well say yes. Huh? People offer food, they want to ensure, they say, we don't like to waste food. So how many rotis will you like? Two rotis, three rotis? No, tell how much ever you would like to eat. How would you like? And what would you like to have? Huh? As though you are in a hotel and you want to present a menu card by which you can choose among 50 varieties that are available. Guruji also would get the Swami Tejo manager, but he would get angry because people say, what would you like to have, Guruji? है तो घर पे छाछ चाय या कॉफी नींबू पानी मिल जाए तुम कौन सा एक बड़ा लिस्ट मेनू बना के लेकर आ गए व्हाट वुड यू लाइक टू just be very simple and straightforward. There is coffee, there is tea, there is this anything. This offering no should be from the heart also. And it should be from the heart. When it is from the heart, you almost give it, you offer it without asking. There was this farm I visited. There is a difference between how urban people behave versus rural. I'm telling you. Somehow the sanskaras have not left the rural people so much. When you go and visit them in the farm, they simply offer you. If they have got a kheti now, they are planted and they are harvesting, they will say, hey, we have got sugar cane, take some and go. This is the papaya that is grown in the farm, take some and go. And the same thing if an urban person he has just started farming and he wants to show off more than that, more than 2 years, he may not be able to keep up that farming. That's a very different thing altogether. Because suddenly it's become a very great fad, organic farming, everyone. And after 5 years, they are fed up because they cannot manage. Why is the farmer suffering today committing suicide? Huh? You should understand it's not easy. Anyway, that's another topic altogether. But when this person is there in the farm, he will ask you, there are so many papayas, would you like to have one? Would you like to? He's offering only one anyway. And उसपे भी इतना पूछ रही हूँ और क्या हम बोलने वाले कि yes, yes, I would like. Why do you make the other person beg as you? You want to give, you give. पपाया तो मिल जाता है यार मार्केट में 60 रुपए 70 रुपए में. हाँ? इतना क्या शो? मन में है नहीं देने. Good. Please have. This is the way it should be. Sattvic man never allows a guest to go without giving him something. One who has controlled his tongue, whose desires are satisfied, who has no lust, is a man of Sattva. It is but natural and right. One who has controlled his tongue, pray, that is a very, very big thing. Because the tongue, to one is action, happens speech. One who can't control his tongue goes on talking. And the other person doesn't want to listen also, he has not controlled his tongue. Other one is as a Jnanendriya. Taste is not controlled. So the liking for food, consumption of food, that is not controlled. Then it's very difficult. One who has such a control to speak when necessary, only say what is necessary. That is control of tongue. So even if we practice one such sadhana our lifetime, you will see, you will benefit a lot. Then it is said, it is but natural in life that anything may happen. So saying, he does not allow his mind to be disturbed in any calamity. So that is sattva. He accepts this has happened. So there is acceptance. Anything would happen. Oh, why did this happen to me? Why? I did all that and yet. He's not fighting it. Anything can happen to anybody at any time. This happened to me. Okay. Now what do I do about it? So he doesn't, he's not grieving, he is not fighting it, and he's not disturbed. He is ready to take on that and see what best can he do. He responds to a situation. One who has left all desires for pleasures and in order to search God forgets the comforts of his body is a sattvic person. When we go on pilgrimages, this is what we are to do. As soon as we go, the first thing we do is asking the manager for him. उनसे बात करना है. सुबह में I would like hot water. Without that, and what time does the tea is tea available or coffee available? Because in the morning I like my coffee. The other times I don't like coffee. And then what are the timings of the food? What kind of food is available? Are there, this way? Is the bed like this? I would like a comfortable bed. I like to carry my own pillow and my own bedding to the ashram. Constantly Sharira Puja. Only thinking about the comfort of the body. This is not a sattva quality. This is a very rajasic and maybe a tamasic, but not sattva. So when you go, you are supposed to accept certain challenges and not go and take care of it the first thing you land. Wait and watch, and they will also be watching. How many people are demanding so many things? So they also don't offer you anything. But they know, yes, there are people who come. If you cannot, like, see, if you have a health issue, you need to take care of it. But if you can manage that health issue easily, you must not go about demanding things anywhere for the comfort of your life. You can begin. Small things I tell people. You are sitting either for chanting, you're sitting for a class for 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Don't get up to go to the washroom. Don't get up to drink water. People carry their bottles and they're drinking water. Why you can't live without sipping water for half an hour or 1 hour? What is the need? That means, oh no, I'm getting thirsty, so I want to drink water. You don't need to, you won't die. Before class, you must come ready for that. Use the washroom, drink your water, whatever. But when you are in class, you have to be only with the class. This is support. Not constantly catering to the body. Our classes would go on in the ashram for 3.5 hours, and we had to listen. We were completely glued to what was going on. How can that happen? If even for half an hour one can't sit still and listen to what is going on. One whose steadiness of mind is constant in spite of various desires for sense objects is a man of sattva. In spite of it, or if he can sit quietly and not demand for bodily comfort, that is sattva. 60th, one whose devotion to God is not lessened, even though he may have physical ailment, or even if he is suffering from great pangs of hunger or thirst. You may have this, but this only if you have built it up will you come to this level, no? That you can think of God in spite of your hunger and thirst. Every time you've been catering to your hunger and thirst, you will never ever come out of it. So this is why certain foods in our ashram also, sometimes you would not be given salt in the food. You had to still partake of the food as is. So these were things one had to. I will share one beautiful short. It's a short film about Swami Chinmayananda when he was with Gurudev Tapovanji. So it's a very nice thing that the two, three stories, anecdotes are told about how Guru with Tapovanji would test his students. And sometimes the students are even left and gone. But this is all important, very important. He will give them jobs to do. It is said that Gurudev would make tea, and to make tea for Tapovanji, before that he has to have a bath and do his puja, go and keep the water for boiling and make his tea by 4 o'clock in the morning. Uttar Kashi we are talking about, we are not talking about the plains here. In that cold, he would make the tea, and sometimes Tapovanji would even leave it without having it. So, what happens to the student in this? So, these are small tests. The piece of cloth, I think I'll share the video with you, then you will understand. Now, all this we don't even expect from students who come for this once a week class because we did not expect to do this. But without this, it is very difficult. That is why it is said when enough sattva has been accumulated and one feels that everything else is not making sense, he goes, Upanishad is that, he goes at the feet of the Guru and then only it's fine tuned, his attitude, his mind. Until then, you are not in this position. Sitting in class, we were not, forget about not drinking water or leaving the class. We had to sit looking at only the Acharya, not even looking here when we were. So, this is what is expected from a seeker of the truth, because such is the subtlety of that truth. To grasp that, one cannot be engaging in one's own body and mind on that. Now we will go on to the 61st to the 70th verses. श्रवण आणि मनन निज ध्यासे समाधान शुद्ध झाले आत्मज्ञान तो सत्वगुण जयास अहंकार नसे नैराश्यता विलसे जयापासी कृपा वसे तो सत्वगुण सकळांची नम्र बोले मर्यादा धरूनच सर्व जन तोष मिळे तो सत्वगुण सकळ जनासी आर्जव नाही विरोधास ठाव परोपकारी वेची जीव तो सत्व आपकार्यामुन जीवी परकार्या सिद्धि करावी, मरोण कीर्ति उड़वावी तो सत्व, पराव्याज से दोष गुण, दृष्टीच देखे आपण, समुद्र ऐसे साठवण तो सत्व, नीच उतर सहाणे प्रत्योत्तर न देणे, आला क्रोध सावरणे तो सत्व, अन्याये वीण गाजती नाना परी पीडा करती, तितुके ही साडवे चित्ती तो सत्व, शरीरे घी ससा दुर्जनासी मिळवून जाणे, निंदकास उपकार करणे हा सत्वगुण, मन भक्तीकडे धावे ते विवेके आवरावे, इंद्रिये दमन करणे तो सत्वगुण. 61st, when sattva is prevalent in life, a man is interested in listening, meditation, and concentrating on inner reality and has right self-knowledge. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam is his way of living, and he has the right knowledge, proper knowledge. One who has no ego, his state of having no hankering is evident, and kindness is his natural quality. That is a sattva. A sattvic person speaks with humility with all, conducts his life within the norms of social etiquette, and gives satisfaction to all people. Nobody finds a flaw with him. The way he conducts himself, gentle, humble, and very kind, very sweet to speak to with all. We must also watch ourselves. Very often in our minds, we think we are so good, we are not thinking any wrong, but every expression of ours is not pleasing, is creating another kind of, and then we say, how can that person think like this about me? Or what did I do that that person is thinking? This is also important. He is very straight with all persons. There is no place for opposition in his mind and likes to help others even by staking his life. He is ready to help anybody. A man of sattva always thinks, there is no place for opposition. This way, whenever you think that there is a conflict or an opposite viewpoint, why is this person like this? I am like this. Just wonder. You should see what is making you think differently. What is the understanding that you're missing that there is an opposition that has arisen in your mind? A man of sattva always thinks that even more than his own work, the work of other people must be successful. Thus, he has fame which survives him. People like him because of that. He is ready to help others. He also feels that they should be successful. That is also important, as much as his work is important. Most people, when you ask for help, is when they realize that they have more important work to do and their work is more important than even helping you. So, this sattvic person will look out every way to help you, in spite of his own work. When a man does not look for defects in others and contains within himself everything, like an ocean, Samudra Sagar, it is the quality of sattva. It is by influence of sattva that a man meekly listens to insulting words, but does not retort or become angry, even if there is somebody who is giving him, who is abusing him, he does not retort and he sees to it that he doesn't become angry with that. आला क्रोध सावरणे तो सत्व, प्रत्योत्तर न देणे. People harass him even if he has not committed any injustice and trouble him in various ways, but he bears silently everything in his mind. This is due to his sattva quality. Now, if you say, why should I do that when he is like that? Questions come up. Then understand that is the rajasic state of mind. This state of mind does not want, it just walks away. It is sattva. A sattvic man often undergoes physical suffering silently. He takes care to be liked by even the evil persons and obliges even his critics. Now, he takes care to be liked. This may seem like it is, he is not doing things so that they like him. He wins their heart by his being constantly helping out. Sometimes the Rajo person will help when it is needed. when he has an ulterior motive and not at other times. But a person with Sattva guna, and as Bhagavan says, Nitya, you must be in Sattva, constantly be in that. So you have to be helpful. You have to go on, and over a period of time, this person realizes that no, this person is very this also guna. He is always helpful. He is never refusing. So he is automatically liked by all. It is a sattvic attitude by which man controls the mind, which generally runs here and there, and has control over the senses. So this way, the sattvic person doesn't need to really control his mind so much because it doesn't go anywhere. So from the 71st verse, सत्क्रिया आचरावी असत्क्रिया त्यागावी वाट भक्तीचे दळावी तो सत्वगुण जया आवडे प्राथा स्नान आवडे पुराण श्रवण नाना मंत्री देवतार्चन करी तो सत्वगुण पर्वकाळी अतिसादर वसंत पूजे सतत्पर जयांत्याची प्रीती थोर तो सत्वगुण विदेशी मेवे मरणे तया संस्कार देणे अथवा सादर होणे तो सत्वगुण कोणी एकाच मारी तयास जाऊन वारी जीव बंधन मुक्त करी तो सत्वगुण लिंगे लाहोळी अभिशेष नामस्मरणी विश्वास देवदर्शनी अवकाश तो सत्वगुण संत देखोनी दावे परम सुख पेलावे नमस्कारी सर्व भावे तो सत्वगुण संत कृपा होय जयास तेणे उद्धरिले वंश तो ईश्वराचा अंश सत्वगुण सन्मार्ग दाखवी जन जो लावी हरिभजन ज्ञान शिकवी अज्ञान तो सत्वगुण आवडे पुण्य संस्कार प्रदक्षिणा नमस्कार दया राहे पाठांतर तो सत्वगुण it is a sattvic attitude by which a man controls the mind, which generally does here and there. 71st verse, it is a sattvic desire to perform good deeds, to drop bad ones, and to follow the path of devotion. A man of sattva likes to bathe early in the morning, to listen to reading and recitation of religious books, and to worship God by reciting various mantras. Proper understanding is there. When all of this puja, yajna has to happen, there is a vidhi that needs to be followed. He knows the vidhi very well, the ways to do it. He has no confusion, no doubts. Why is he doing? He knows. How it has to be done, he knows. Such a man has earnest desire to observe ceremonies on auspicious occasions, worship during the summer season, and to observe birthday ceremonies of great persons. So these things have more importance in his life. If anybody dies in a foreign land and there is nobody to do the necessary rituals for disposal of his body, a sattvic man undertakes this out of pity or offers his services. So he is ready to help out even at such times. Usually you will see at such times people run away because we don't want any conflict, we don't want any trouble, we will be unnecessarily involved and we are very busy with very important matters in life. So we run away from helping people. The mind will find 100 justifications as well as excuses for not contributing or helping. But this person of sattvic mind will even go about doing this job. He undertakes to do the necessary rituals for disposal of them. If anybody is beating somebody else, a sattvic man goes and prevents this and liberates human beings or creatures concerned from bondage. Out of his compassion and his natural known self, he does this. A sattvic man has faith in worshipping Lord Shiva by preparing crores of lingams, does continuous sprinkling of water, milk, etc. on the image. He has faith in remembering the name of God and finds enough time to go to temples for a glimpse of God, which means he is following the path of spirituality with great earnestness. And he is putting all his efforts there. Like we say, the day-to-day activities, I always say, the amount of time you are spending for niswartha activity, karma, that is not related to your blood relation, your family, your body, your attachments. Other than that, for something, some cause, or some person you're working, from where or whom you have no expectations for him, and you know that they may not even be able to pay you back. How much time are you spending in such activities? If your daily activities is in such activities, then more and more if time is being spent on such activities, you're already on a sattva guna pradhan. But if constantly from morning to evening, it is swartha, it is sankalpa with saha, affirmations for me, my family, my health, my everything is me and mine, then sattva pradhan has not happened, sattva guna pradhan. Such a man of sattvic qualities hurries towards saints, is overjoyed to see them, and bows down before them with all respect. So he knows the ways. He has heard enough. He has gone and found out more about saints. There are many people, see, anyway, they like spending time with saints because this is their matter of interest. Evolving, understanding more and more about God, God's ways, and he constantly is looking to hear this. So when he goes to meet a saint, he is very happy. And he has met a lot of saints. He knows how to be with saints, how to be in their presence, how what are the things he must engage with, what he must not do. All this he knows because he has spent a lot of. This is what he wants to do. This is why most saints would say, let seekers come to you. You don't go and deliver at home. But what has happened today? Door delivery. Chances are there, yes. I would like to join the classes, but if I can't make it, can I get the recording so that I can hear it at my time? People don't make time to attend. This also happens. Yes, so curiosities. I would like that information. I would like to hear. And so much is available on YouTube. So we said, okay, I can always do it. But not so with a person who is sattvic. Sattva guna pradhan will just make you go and do this. Whichever way I want first, I want direct. I will go and sit there and get it. This should be. A man who is blessed by saints has literally liberated all his family and can be said to be God-man by virtue of his sattva. So see, up to that level it helps you. But most people do not even try to be this way. If the saint can see that somebody is sattva guna pradhan, he will himself try and pull him out. He has to see that. So, this is what is said, a man who is blessed by saints. Where blessing is when the saint is saying, I will pull this one of that cycle. He can liberate all his family. But one doesn't think of that. One is only what is visible to the eye, what is visible to the senses, limited by his mind. He is able to see only that. He doesn't appreciate something bigger or greater, subtler than this. 80. A man who likes to have good influence of meritorious actions, who takes reverential rounds in the temple, pradakshina, bows before the idol, darshan, he goes for the temple, and generally has good memory to reproduce what he has learned, is a sattvic man. So these people go, they are able to remember, and they love to circumambulate and do pradakshina, whatever is needed to be done in that particular temple without any problem. You go to this temple, these pandits are making money, that one is corrupted, this one, I don't believe in this, I believe in this. All about what I believe doesn't matter. Has not taken you anywhere, isn't it? That is why one is still confused with one's own mind. Yet so much Satya Buddhi event. Just a few verses left, we shall complete it today. From the 81st verse, we'll read. भक्तीचा हव्यास भारी ग्रंथ सामग्री जो करी धातू मूर्ती नाना परी पूजी तो सत्वगुण तळफळीत उपकरणे माळा गवाळी आसने पवित्रे चोजवळे वसणे तो सत्वगुण परपीडेचे वाहे दुःख परसंतोषाचे सुख वैराग्य देखो न हरिक मानी तो सत्वगुण परभूषणे भूषण परभूषणे भूषण परदुःखे नसणे जाण तो सत्वगुण आता असो हे बहुत देवी धर्मी ज्यासे चित्त भजे कामना रहित तो सत्वगुण ऐसा हा सत्वगुण सात्विक संसार सागरी तारक येणे उपजे विवेक ज्ञान मार्गाचा सत्वगुणे भगवत भक्ती सत्वगुणे ज्ञान प्राप्ती सत्वगुणे सायोज्य मुक्ती पावी जेते ऐसे सत्वगुणाची स्थिती स्वल्प बोलेले येता मती सावध होनी श्रुती पुढे अवधान घ्यावे इति श्री दासबोधे गुरु शिष्य संवादे सत्वगुणानां समास सात्वा. The 80th we read. 81st mission. A man who has tremendous eagerness for devotion, who has good stock of books and all writes many books, and who worships God's image made of metal, is a man of sattvic quality. Here, eagerness for devotion. Whatever he does, he feels that's not enough, more has to be done. This is eagerness for devotion. And he writes books, he reads. As he is reading, he wants to engage only in that kind of thought. So, a lot of poems he begins to write. He writes good words, his bhajans, prayers. A man of this quality has all utensils and instruments of worship in good condition, garlands, seats, and clothes, all of very good quality. Clean and neat. His puja place will be clean. Even the things he uses to offer God, very nicely kept. And he maintains it very well. That is very, and he doesn't allow many people to touch it. There is great reverence for it. That is how it is consecrated, even these utensils that he uses. Such a man is unhappy by the unhappiness of others, happy to see others happy, and is pleased to see persons who are desireless. He gets along very well with such people who are desireless. When he sees somebody, he doesn't feel envy. Oh, how is he so desireless? And he is so happy to meet such a person. He is unhappy with the unhappiness of somebody else, happy with somebody else's happiness. It is the quality of sattva which feels honored by the honor of other people, feels dishonored if others are insulted, and due to compassion, feels sorry because of the sorrow. He knows what it will be, putting his shoes in their, putting his feet in their shoes. Now, enough with all this description. In short, one whose mind is towards God and religion, and whose devotion is unselfish, is a son. God is that Parama Tattva, that Ishvara Tattva, the existence principle, reality, truth, whatever it is that you want to call. God is that personified principle whose devotion and reverence for that principle is highest and unselfish, is sattvic in nature. Such is the sattva quality by which there is discretion to follow the path of knowledge, jnana marga, and thus it is the liberator in the ocean of worldly life. Samsara sagar, it becomes the very, very boat by which you cross over the samsara. By sattva, there is devotion to God, there is acquisition of knowledge and achievement of total freedom. You attain to that bliss. So I have described the state of sattva in short according to my knowledge, and I request that the listeners may kindly give attention to my further discourse, which is going to be the chapter 8, good knowledge. And thus he ends. In the second Dashaka of Dasbodh, in the dialogue between the Guru and the disciple, the seventh chapter of by name Sattva quality is completed here. So next class we shall look at the eighth topic, which is what is good and right knowledge. That um, is the eighth topic with this Sattva Guna. So see, go back to reading it. It's very easy to understand. There is nothing difficult. But what it is our effort to remain in Sattva. That we must overcome. And where we do not, we can recognize that, oh, I couldn't keep in Sattva much. Then reflect upon your ideas, thoughts, actions. Why has this come up? With awareness, you begin to conduct yourself up. That's what must be done. So constantly, one must be paying attention. Become a witness to your own thoughts. Forget about the world and what the world said and he said and she said and he did and she did. As he did, what did I do? As she said, what did I say? How did I respond? There was so much Rajoguna there. What was there within me? That person is so sattvic. Why do you feel he is more sattvic than you? What is your action that is not up to the mark? Become a witness and watch yourself as a third person too. You become a seer to your own thoughts and actions. Then only you will be able to correct it. That's how one can maintain in sattva. So we shall conclude this session today. Any questions, anything, then we can take it up. Otherwise, we will conclude today's session and
So,
go for good knowledge. Yes,
so Acharya ji,
yes,
one
Sagar.
this 59th verse, it said that if there is any desires, even if there are a lot of desires that are coming, he's steadfast. But there is a slight I mean, I got little
One
confused in
whose
that
steadiness of mind is
mind
constant in spite of various desires or
desires.
sense objects is a man of sattvic quality. See, each one is trying to work on themselves, right? Like I told you, if you can watch yourself, then when there is sattva quality only, you can watch yourself actually. Otherwise, you are engrossed in that activity so much, you are already in Rajasic and you are involved and you can't see yourself.
Hmm.
So this quality that is there to watch yourself and the mind wants to go there, but no, I'm going to pull that. I'm using my Viveka Buddhi. Hey Mana, don't go there. Come back here because this is what is good. And when you are able to do that, you are already in sattva. That is the sattvic quality that is there. So desire, see, it will not go off just because you just think about it, isn't it? Who wants it? I don't want it, but it doesn't go. If it is today, I'm feeling very good, I've rested well and I've heard what I wanted to hear, everything is going beautifully, Sattva Guna prevails, you're not whatever. But tomorrow might be another day, and you don't know where these desires come. They come from the Karana Sharira, from your subconscious, from the unconscious, it comes up. But you're watchful. If you're watchful and the mind is steady at that time, Sattva, which means we have to work towards it if it is not. You know?
And 64th and 68th also was like uh, this is slightly different from what we understand in Bhagavad Gita, right? Like if someone is doing wrong to you, I mean, you may not react in a your reaction may be a little different, but you need to respond to that, right?
Okay. See, in English, when that is what he is very straight with all persons. That's what is important. Very straight means he keeps up to that dharma,
Mm.
and that applies to all. Because this one is my friend, because he is my
Uh,
son. I am attached to him. So I am
hmm.
not very harsh with him. But to that third person whom I anyway don't like, I want to give him a piece of my mind. I tell him what dharma is all about. He is just very straight to all. कोई भी हो यही मेरा जवाब है. That way. है ना? And there is no place for opposition in his mind. When it viruddha thought doesn't come up. He's steadfast in already what he knows. He has the right knowledge and he is steadfast, convinced. Conviction is there. Acha, now this friend is telling me, and he's such a good friend, and he's got an opposite viewpoint. Now what should I do? I'm a little confused here.
Mm.
He has this point. Maybe. So let that be. I'm convinced about this. And I will carry on this. And what about spirituality, about evolution? He is not concerned about the world. If it is about the world, he drops. You be right. Very good. No problem. I have no problem. I'm ready to lose this argument. Thanks. I know. You said 68th also, no?
I, similar, I think.
People harass him even if he has not committed any injustice and trouble him in various ways, but he bears silently everything in his mind. This was due to Sattva Bhakti. Now, see, when people harass him, that point will not really come up in a way of day-to-day problems in office or in society. Because a person of sattva usually is more receptive and sensitive. He knows from where that problem is going to arise and he would have handled it too. This everyday problem with people around me is a very rajasic and tamasic.
Mm.
Okay. Now, Krishna was blamed, Sri Rama was blamed, isn't it? Everybody can go through that. How did they respond when they know that nothing more can be done? There is, we say, no, sometimes we say, Arey, ye to bhai, dogs will bark, let them bark, you carry on with your work. Now,
Mm.
realizing that you can't change people's minds. If they are this way, they are going to talk bad about you. Yeah, that is the time.
Okay.
It is not used for all the time. He is not perturbed. ये लोग तो बोलेंगे ही है. There is one famous, I've forgotten that dialogue. मैंने एक दो दिन, even I learned that because I liked him. Famous superstar Rajinikanth has said that, but super line. He said what something about if there is a tongue, then it will wag or it will tell stories, it will criticize. If there is a dog, it will bark, and there is no village without a dog or without these tongues wagging. So then let that happen. You have to keep doing what you have to do. Go ahead and something like that. If I can get the words, I will imitate Rajini. But it is very nice what he says. Famous dialogue, Tamil dialogue. But this is the way the Sattva person works. He says, "Hey, yaar, ab kya samjhaye इनको?" Hmm? And even if injustice, I can't help it. And I cannot become guilty of this just because they are saying I'm wrong. Just because 99 people say I'm wrong, I don't become wrong. He knows that. How did Christ go up to was crucified for no fault of his? And then people are there who wanted him crucified that way. And the one who gave the orders said that was what people wanted, so I gave the order. Not my mistake. And then he was crucified. You see, people who have the authority to stop also may not stop. Because he is full of rajoguna or he is confused, he is in the tamoguna. He could have stopped the crucifixion of Jesus. है ना? ये होता है तत्व गुण.
Thank you.
To take the stories of all saints for that. Read the avatars, how they have been. Sattva all the time. Why did they act like this? You reflect upon it and you will find an answer. That is how you keep resolving issues within when they come up. And they have dealt with the same world that everybody is dealing with. In that video, which I shall share with you, once Tapovanji gives this, these are stories we have even heard before. Tapovanji gets a piece of cloth, given to him by somebody, some devotee gives him. So he tells the students who are with him, who live with him and stay with him. So basically, when you are with the Guru, you are cooking for the Guru, you are taking care of the Guru's needs also, washing clothes and getting everything done. And how do you do it? I mean, absolutely, there is the world different in there. He gave that cloth to the students and said, make one robe for me out of this. So they made, got it cut and somehow sewed it and even colored it so that sannyasa color of her robes and um, they put it out for drying and put it on the shrubs, so that it was, and then handed over to him and left. Then he told Gurudev Chinmayanji, look at the way you removed the dress, that jacket kurta from the shrubs, it has a hole in it. Is this the way to do it? So Chinmayanji was very, very sure he had not done it. And he said, no, I have not done it. I removed it very carefully. It was not there at that time. So he says, what? So now you're lying to me that you have not done. There is this hole. See the hole, you can see it. When you removed it from the shrub, you removed it in such a way that there is a hole there. And he was saying, no, I have not done it. No, I have not done it. He said, what a liar you are. Chinmayanji couldn't take that. He said, why is this Guru calling me liar? I have not lied. And somehow he couldn't accept that he had made that mistake. So he was so angry with the Pohanji, he decided to leave. He went, he said, I'll pack my bags and leave. I'm not happy because Guru cannot be talking like this and he cannot talk, call me a liar when I have been honest. I have always been, and this something I did not do. It was not there when I did. And if still he wants to, call me all these names, I cannot bear to be with him. I don't deserve to be with him. He was starting to pack all his bags. There was a very senior Swami there who saw him doing this and went, what happened? He said, I'm not happy. I'm very unhappy. He being my guru, he called me a liar. He should have known more than me. How can I take this and okay. That's what a guru is here for. He's trying to tell you something, but you are very, very, know, attached to your being liar or truthful or whatever that is. He was trying to point out he is a very compassionate guru and very strict at that. He's trying to teach you something. Every action of his is a teaching only. If you look at it that way, things will be easy. Don't go for now, wait for one. So that night he just meditated. Then next morning, again something happened. He says, you liar, you are saying you did not. Saying, yeah, maybe that hole was made by me only. I only made it. The Pohanji said, wow, very good. What happened to you today? See, that's all there was to it. So you have this, and over that small thing, because that ego doesn't. How can the Guru say this? How can he call me a liar? I am not a I doesn't leave. Very subtle. These are all matters of the world which the mind holds on to. I am sattvic, that will become another thing. Sattva guna we are talking about in the effort to become sattvic. I am sattvic also becomes. You should be very watchful that that doesn't grow. The sense of me being the real seeker, everyone else faltu, nobody's evolved. Nobody has that understanding. I have understood more.
Uh, Acharyaji, I remember you telling in one of the discourses, too much of sattva is also not good. You have said this, I think, couple of times I remember. So how? I mean, I wanted to understand that, like, how? Uh,
See, we think sattva means most people, huh? Like I said, being straight in sattva is very important. Um, we have to be good, but too much of goodness that it comes in the way of your being righteous. It can happen. Huh? That is where, but we have to first become Sattva Pradhan. From there, only drop Gunatita you have to become. That is when Bhagavan Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, that understanding has to come. It is not very easy. Without this Sattva Guna, that subtle thing will not come to our mind. Huh? And then after that, then you will realize that even this is a bhava. In Vyavahara, keep Sattva. Otherwise, be nothing. Not even saying that I am a sattvic person, because Brahman is not sattvic. It is beyond gunas, isn't it? Then at that state, sattva becomes a bhata.
Uh, Hari Om Acharya, I didn't get the meaning of the first sentence. Too much of sattva comes in the way of being righteous.
That is why good people suffer, no? Because out of their goodness, they have to go and do something right. The right thing calls for slapping that boy. I can't slap him. I'm not brought up like that. These are not my values. I am not non-violence, and everything becomes more important to me than doing the right thing at the right. Arjuna also, and all of them suffered that only. They were brothers were heaping insults on them. No, but I'm taught to be like this. This is my samskara. I cannot. It is my brother after all. Once you given, twice you given, then third time, you are suffering, isn't it? So this goodness can never be. If that goodness is making you suffer, understand there is a problem there. It's the ego which makes you suffer. So this ego of being good is what is making you suffer. If you're
it's
in,
like
yes,
Probably it's like we are holding to our reputation of being and
yes.
perceived as good.
This is what happens. My image is more important. My reputation becomes more important of being a good person, and that creates a lot of evil in society. It creates evil within, just, I'm telling you, within the family it creates. And these good people are worth nothing. I prefer people who are direct and who angry show their anger. How can they show? And they can't show anger only with people of authority. Someone who's they are to be dominated, why they can't? Whoever position with their relationship. They can't be straight. You have to be straight. That is what Bhagavan Krishna says. Straightforward. Straightforwardness is the sound. If you are now worried about being good, being called good and nice person, and you are worried about that, you have already gone into Rajoguna, not more, no more Sattva Guna. Something else has become important now, and this keeps changing all the time. किसी को थप्पड़ देना है तो उस वक्त थप्पड़ देना है, that is in goodness you will be doing that.
So that means uh, a person is not being good because he's sattvic or because he's innately good. He's being good just to create the impression of being a good person.
No, then that is an Rajoguna. That he has his ulterior motive. His own image is becoming his. That is a big pitfall. The truly sattva person is very vulnerable.
Hariomdi. That means a person who is truly sattvic person,
Hmm.
at a point he also goes into a distraction and keeps going in a pattern of a circle rather than moving ahead. Is it
No,
to
if
say
he's
that?
going in this pattern and then see, all the gunas are constantly playing, understand? It is never, this is the effort that we have to make. No? Maya is Trigunatmika, and all the three gunas exist at any given point of time.
Hmm.
Sometimes Pradhan, Sattva Pradhan, sometimes Rajo Pradhan, sometimes Tamo Pradhan. And sometimes if we continue, and I continue speaking, how long will you all keep awake? Tamo will take over at some time.
Hmm.
Yes, I know of masters who can go on and who will go on just for this reason to see how you will break your tamoguna. If
Hmm.
we are called, we will be called for classes in the night and all over through the night. And next morning you have to report for chanting and everything else. Just to break that cycle, just to know how deeply you can go into this subject. People have gone into samadhi this way also. Okay? But then that is your fighting those gunas. Now, if I continue this lecture, you may not be able to say, you say, I had something else, you will switch off the video and slowly maybe leave this. You will not be able to keep up. So these gunas are always there. To be watchful of this and to remain in sattva as much as possible. Okay. Now, while doing that, not falling into this rajoguna again, thinking that I am a great sattvic person.
Hmm.
Escape that is important. And sattva, if you're truly sattva, it will lead you to going beyond it. But you have to be
Okay.
watchful.
So, so in essence, maybe sattva is a tool which is to
Thank
be
you.
used to look at that real self.
Yes,
We see that
yes. It is the only thing.
it's the
Only
tool.
from sattva can you go to that, beyond. And in moments of sattva, this will just dawn upon you. You don't have to really do anything. So when constantly in sattva is when you will constantly remain in that state also, until that has become your nature. You recognize that only and not the other ego self. Also, don't think too much. Try and be as much silent as possible. अरे सत्वा में रहना है सत्वा में रहना है, don't fight for it. Just be silently watching. You will know when Rajo arises, when Tamo arises. Be alert at that. That's all. And shall we conclude for today? पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति 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 Hari Om.
Shanti.